G'day, I'm Peter from Team Low Range 4x4 and this is my 2-week and a bit impressions video of not only sealed roads, but more importantly, this. And for those eagle eyes out there, you probably noticed that my number plate in that last bog hole went from being attached to the vehicle to, thanks to the magic of hydrodynamics, which is a member of the fluid dynamic family in science, of course, it went to disappear mode. Now, thankfully, I did find it floating on top of the that water a little bit later, and I reattached it using wonderful washers. Now, stop! This is not a video about hydrodynamics. No, we're here to talk about the KM3's and of course my impressions. Road noise. Yes, road noise. Of course, there's a wonderful biological thing that happens in humans, I'm assuming only humans of course, is where if your brain is exposed to a certain sound over a long period of time, your brain registers it as something that's common and it should ignore. It doesn't need to waste energy on it. And that's basically what I'm referring to in the sound of the KM3's. When I first purchased the KM3's, I was like, definitely can notice the sound compared to the all-terrains, the KO2's that I was running. And I thought, oh, is this going to get worse? Because generally the reports are they get worse with time. But you know what? I had my wife and everyone in the car not too long ago, and it didn't seem to bother anybody. So I'm guessing it's just one of those things you get used to and you move on. Now, of course, this is the last video I'm going to be doing on impressions of the KM3's. After this, it's going to be every 10,000 Ks I'm going to report on wear and tear and stuff. And when road noise does become an issue, I'm going to be talking about it in more detail if and when it happens. Just got to get used to it. Not having the same contact patch as an all-terrain or even a highway terrain for that matter means that the performance and handling characteristics, especially on road, are going to be something you have to get used to. Now, they are quite grippy. I do have these high-speed bends that I go around quite regularly on my commute, and I did find that, generally speaking, they're fine. This is why you buy a mud terrain. Slippery, clay, muddy conditions, basically the stuff that brings your complete momentum in the vehicle to a screeching halt when you lose traction. Now, that's exactly what I purchased my KM3's for, is this kind of driving. The norm for me. So if you're looking at doing a lot more of this kind of driving, especially on the weekend, and you don't commute too much, perhaps the option of a mud terrain might be more up your alley. So, all right, let me just do a quick overrun of my previous 2 and a bit weeks with the KM3's. All right, last couple of days it's been raining quite heavily and I've been doing a lot of bitumen sealed road driving. And how did I find the KM3's? How did I find them? Well, you know what? Kind of like the KO2's. When I first had the KO2's, I thought, wow, in the wet, these are on rails. They're really, really raily tyres. They're basically, they grip to the road. You feel like, well, hey, they're doing their job. I'm not feel slippery, slidey, slippery, slidey, slippery, slidey. KM3's exactly the same. I went around those steep, fast curves with no trouble to encounter, if I encountered anything that was going to upset the vehicle, and it was quite fine. So wet driving, That's a big thumbs up from me. You got to get used to it, but are they grippy? Yeah, pretty grippy. You know, I would say, yeah, pretty grippy. I would definitely, you know, it's no race car, and nor is the Hilux for that matter. So don't expect, you know, super duper performance out of these tyres in a grip sense. So are they all right on that wonderful bitumen sealed surface in the dry? Yep, there's a thumbs up from me as well. What are they like off-road? Because so far I've had the best experience off-road with these tyres that I've ever had in the past 4 years owning the Hilux. So that is their main purpose. That is the function that the KM3's mud terrain tyres are built for. The KM3's, so far initial impressions are really great. I'm Peter from Team Low Range 4x4. Don't forget to, if you already haven't, thank you so much, and I'll catch you on the tracks.